Hi, good evening guys, Andrew here. Thought I'd do another wee update on my hair transplant for you. This video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you the pictures from kind of day one up to the current day. And I'll do a wee kind of speak over of the pictures about kind of each day and how I kind of cleaned it and what all happened. This is me day 18 in. So as you can kind of looking a bit red, and I'm also suffering a wee bit of hair loss from the grafts that have come, which isn't to worry. But I'll talk about that more at the end. So as you can see, the next slides are from picture one. Now this picture is from the top of my head. I was really suffering with a bit of receding hairline, and guess it had been going on for a period of about 5 years. It hadn't got any worse, but it certainly wasn't getting any better, which is why I thought I'd do something about it. So as you can see, I've kind of got the island at the front, but I do have kind of large bits either side, which I thought were keeping back, which is the reason for my transplant. From the front, it doesn't look too bad, but certainly from the angles that you've just kind of seen, was the main reason why I wanted to go and get it done. That bits I'm pulling back aside is what I was self-conscious about. I certainly couldn't wear a slick back hairstyle or certain other hairstyles. I had to position my hair in a particular way. So unfortunately this is the only picture I've got from the clinic, mainly because once I took the Xanax tablet and the injections on the day, I was a wee bit blurry enough to kind of record the progress. I also wasn't sure if I was going to be sharing or documenting my hair kind of transplant journey, but as you can see, this is the line that they've drawn on, and this is what I've agreed to before the procedure was taking place. And yes, a hairline I was happy with, which would cover over the receding spots. So this is what it looks like immediately after the surgery's done. They put the kind of bandage over on the front of my head to stop the swelling, and give it a kind of wash and a clean off. I got 3,000 grafts. I think the max they say you can do is 3,500 in one sitting. So I got 3,000 placed onto the front zonal area of my head. So this was me kind of at the clinic just before I was putting the taxi back to the hotel. So this is me back at the hotel. This is a kind of picture of the bandage you put on the back. The bandage I thought was pretty securely, and I found it relatively comfortable, to be honest, considering they took grafts from it. This is me going down to get a bit of dinner. As you can see, there's weeping from the skull, but they assured me that this was simply the juice that they've kind of injected into your scalp before the procedure started. It is natural and it is normal after the procedure, so don't panic. Just have a little bit of toilet roll and dab away every time you feel it coming down the front. Don't go walking about too much after the procedure. I just went and got a little bit of food and some water before going back up to the room to recover. So this was me just tucking into bed for the night ahead. You have to sleep upright. So as you can see, it's already beginning to scab. This is about 2 hours after I've had the procedure done. It is important in the first night to sleep upright, so I kind of tucked in my travel pillow under my neck, and I also had 2 pillows beside me left and right. I actually found the sleep relatively comfortable given the fact that I was knackered after 8 hours of the procedure. But yeah, any questions at all regarding the kind of aftercare back, please drop me a comment below. So this is the following morning. You go back to the clinic where they take off your bandages and then they wash your hair for you. It is a gentle wash, so don't panic. They then stretch over the Longevita headband. It's important to keep this on, again, to stop the swelling from your head travelling further down your face. It can give you black eyes and swell up your eyes and cheekbones. It's just important to keep it on. As you can see in this, the back of the headline is actually looking pretty clean. I was a bit shocked seeing this picture because considering they've took 3,000 grafts, it doesn't look too bad, doesn't look too damaged as much as I thought it would have done. So again, the bandage can sit on top of it, around the back of it. It's just important that you keep it clean, because it can stick to the back of the head. They advise that you kind of every couple of hours you just move your hands around it and remove it from the back of your head a little bit, just so it doesn't dry off, because it does weep and it does ooze a little bit. As you can see, the front of it I thought was pretty clean as well, considering the grafts I've had. One of my biggest questions I've still asked this day is, how do you know you've actually had 3,000 grafts? Like I say, you're on your face, down on your face most of the procedure, so you can't actually see, you certainly can't count them, so you just kind of need to take it as their word that that's what they've done. You can't count individual grafts either, so I'm just going by the fact they've told me I have 3,000 grafts. However, it does look neat and it does look clean, and I'm happy with the result at this moment in time. So the next kind of pictures are going to be my recovery period from day 1 up until the current day. So you're going to see how the scabs kind of are there day in, day out. What I'm doing is you're supposed to be putting the lotion on once a day and washing it once a day. To wash it, I used just a wee jug and rinsed it over from the back to the front. I also used a squeezy bottle in order to do exactly what they did in the clinic, and that's to squeeze from a short distance onto the front of the scalp to help kind of remove most of the scabs. It's a long process, so don't panic. The scabs are good, it's a sign they're healing. So yeah, take your time with it all, and just look after it these next couple of weeks. The first 2 weeks especially are so important. So I hope you can see the kind of progress I've made over these 2 week periods. I still at this stage only been day 18 in. I don't know how it's going to look or how it's going to be turning out, but I've certainly done everything to the book that Longevita have told me, and my surgeon clinic what they told me at the time. And yeah, I've looked after it as best as I possibly could, and I hope you can see the pictures over these next kind of 2 week period. As you can see in this picture, this is when the lotion's on. It's important to put the lotion on once a day. Leave it for half an hour to 45 minutes. This really helps soften down the scabs. I kind of put it in the palm of my hand and then dabbed it onto, just gently dabbed it onto the biggest scabs and the smaller ones, and then rinse it off, I say, with a jug just before I went in the shower every single day. I did that for the first kind of 7 days, and then in the second kind of week, which is day from 7 to 8 onwards, I started to maybe put the lotion on twice a day just to really help loosen up some of the scabs. I felt that I still had some quite thick ones on the top of my scalp. As you can see in these next couple of pictures, my scabs kind of started to go white and soften a lot, especially this next picture you're about to see right here. It's not a cause for concern, like I say, just make sure you only wash it once a day, don't overwash it. And I say the scabs do eventually come off over the next coming days, and they come off quite quickly. You'll notice a big difference in your showers from really day 9 onwards. So as we move from day 9, you can see the back's really starting to dry out. The front area especially there's less scabs than what there was a week ago. They're going quite dry and going a bit kind of white. That's just the lotion really working into them. The more you start to have showers, the more scabs come off as long as you're gentle. But I'm really happy with how dry the back of my head is currently looking. And as we go into day 10, you will see the front of these pictures. I have lost some more scabs again from the front. There's a couple of really thick scabs I felt that were taking their time to come off. However, in the shower once a day, putting the kind of lotion on, especially half an hour to 45 minutes before, they do start to finally find their way off with the more you shower. I was finding from kind of day 10 onwards, I was really beginning to get a lot of spots in the back of my head. I don't typically suffer with spots in my head even before the hair transplant procedure, but they did say this could be a kind of effect after it from the plucking of the back at your graft area and then insert it into the front. At this stage, kind of into day 11 onwards, I really wasn't having any pain or any uncomfortability with the front of my hair. Most of the pain I had was in the back. This is just with your skin knitting together around your graft area. And in particular, I found the only way to really solve it was to put more lotion on. Keep the back really lotionized, and you shouldn't really have any major problems from there. So as we move into day 12 to 15, this is when all the scabs finally fell off in the shower. I'm delighted with how it looks at this stage. It's day 14 after 2 weeks of my hair transplant. The hairs are really fining in. It's showing me what my hairline was going to look like, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's going to progress. I'm fully anticipating some shock hair loss, which I was advised in the clinic. However, as we move into day 18, this is what I'm left with. It is looking a bit raw. I'm not as itchy anymore at the back, which I was during the second week. Resist the urge to scratch, resist the urge to kind of dab it, keep the lotion on, and just enjoy your kind of hair process journey from this step in. The first 2 weeks, they said, are the hardest. As you can see, it does look a bit red, but the back's pretty much healed nicely. I do have some pimples and some spots, which I never had before, but given the fact I've had 3,000 grafts, it's not surprising. So yeah, I'll keep you updated as I go forward.